Transfers, Chelsea. Any, please? In, out, shake it all about. Sign somebody!
Finally made it to the pinnacle. How long you waited for the antidote? Salute me like a 5-star general. Now strike a pose for the camera, yo. And go left to right, left to right.
Hi all, welcome back to Rant Football Chelsea News. I'm your host Phill, and today we've got a player in who maybe we didn't expect. A lot of news players are going, and player who's very close to signing, and the Haaland thing probably isn't happening. Let's be truthful. Gotta say Haaland though, to put it in a tag. Could you please though, before we go any further, subscribe to Epic Shows, like this video and comment down below on everything we talk about today, and all the news will be in the show notes at the bottom. So if you want to read it yourself, just do it. So we'll start with the first one though. It's goalkeeper has come in for Chelsea. Marcus Bettinelli, I believe, from Fulham FC or AFC, whatever they want to call themselves. He's 29 years old. So it's a bit of a strange age for a goalkeeper to come in. A few years ago, he was actually playing for England. So this could be a shrewd bit of business by Chelsea, I personally think. I think it's a clever bit of business. He's around the same age as Mendy. Obviously, Kepa is younger, but 3 keepers on their game. It's always good to keep number 1 in place and make sure they do their job properly. I mean, for example, if one drops out, you'd like to think there's a number 2, and you're always worried if a number 2 drops in, what if somebody gets injured? So it's always good to have 3 good goalkeepers. So he's got experience. He has played at the highest level as well. I think this is quite a bit of shrewd transfer business by Chelsea. Does he expect to play much? No, but Chelsea are in so many competitions this season. The way I see it, he had to come in and do something for them. That's the only way you can really look at this one. So what I'm going to do from the Mirror Sport, I'm going to do a bit of reading and, you know, give you some transfer ideas of ins and outs there. I've got a couple of stories of Tammy Abraham coming up. Ziyech should be in this part, and obviously the new defender, what could be coming in, what I am very excited for. So let's get into these stories from the Mirror. Chelsea haven't opened their check because we all know, unfortunately. So let's get to Lukaku first, the return. Chelsea are pushed on their bid to sign Romelu Lukaku from Inter Milan, according to Tutto Maretta Web. I believe that's probably Italian. Blues owner Roman Abramovich has reportedly sent his son out to Italy to try and persuade Lukaku to return to London. The Belgian star endured a miserable 3-year spell at Chelsea early in his career, making only a handful of appearances before being shipped out to Everton. Blue Supremo Abramovich will be hoping that he can tempt Lukaku back to Stamford Bridge, although the Belgian striker is said to be happy with life both on and off the pitch in Milan. Nice place to live, I don't blame him. Regardless, Chelsea are set to the stance whereas Inter desire to hold onto their striker with a colossal £110 million bid. Now, I believe Inter's money's not as bad as it used to be, so they may be able to ward Chelsea off this one. Lukaku's loving life in Italy. I'm guessing his family's probably loving it there as well. Me personally, I'd love him back at Chelsea. I don't think he was ever, well, it's always been the Chelsea thing. We never give youngsters until lately, a fair whip, and at the time when he came through, probably the likes of Drogba there, it was hard for him. But I like Lukaku. I've always said when he went to Man United, he overbulked his muscle and he made himself too big and his movement was rubbish. But as soon as Kunday got hold of him in at Milan, he didn't totally bulk down. He lost weight. And you saw a totally different striker. Same for Belgium. He scored quite a few goals in Euro 2020. I think he would actually suit Chelsea. And with people like Mason Mount, who else are we talking about? Werner, if he stays. And obviously the other boy up front. Anybody else you could fit in there, you can think of. Even Kai Havertz. They would all feel off him very well. He's also a target man, what gives you the option of a game when you can't have possession. When you need to get out and from defence and attack if you're under pressure. He's the big man up there who's going to bully the defence. Me, I'd love to have Lukaku. I'm laying it out there now to people. I want Lukaku. So the next story we're moving on to is about Hakim Ziyech. Is a key transfer target for the other side of Milan. According to AC Milan, the same paper, the Selecco Meticolato, or whatever it is, I don't know. Why am I trying to pretend I can speak Italian? Ziyech only arrived at Stamford Bridge last summer. It was a 33.4 million move from Ajax. The Italian Giants their sights, luring the Moroccan into Italy. The 28-year-old managed 6 goals, 4 assists during his 39 appearances last year, but Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel is prepared to sanction an exit should Milan make a suitable bid. The Italian side are now set to open talks to the Blues over a speedy exit for the versatile forward, with even command a sizable fee. So, what do I think about this one? I've been in the camp of I wanted to keep the young man. Well, young, he's 28, he's in his prime in football. I wanted to keep him at Chelsea, but the more I think of it, the players we've got up there, some of them I've just announced earlier with Lukaku, and then you're talking the midfield players as well. I think he's going to find it hard to adapt to the English game totally, and he's very frail and he's going to get knocked about probably injuries. I think Italian football may suit him better. If Chelsea are going to bring a big name striker in, a big defender in, what we'll get to later, I do think that we need to recruit money, and you've got to think of wages as well. So this is another player who I loved or wanted to shine at Chelsea. I just don't think he's come at the right time, unfortunately, for him. And a move to Italy could benefit both clubs on this one. We have another talented players in them positions who can fit in the gap with the type of football that we play at Chelsea right now. So we're moving on now, and we're going to move over to Spain. Blues eye Barcelona starlet. So Tuchel's men are set to step up their pursuit of promising Barcelona midfielder Moriba, according to Monde Deportivo. The 18-year-old has been likened to Manchester United star Paul Pogba. He just cares more about being on the internet and having stupid haircuts and actually being the star he could be. Hopefully, they mean when Pogba actually wants to play football. Is now in the final 12 months of his contract. The Catalan giants want to tie him down after his senior breakthrough last year, but an agreement has yet to be reached, with Barca demoting Moriba to train with the developmental team until breakthrough is found. Barcelona are in dire financial situation. It is well known that Chelsea have taken advantage of swoop for the exciting young talent. I'm not going to lie, I don't really know anything about this young lad whatsoever myself. If there's any Barcelona fans who watch Spanish football or anything like that, if you could put in the comments down below what you think of him, is he quality or not? He's young, Chelsea's a young squad, so he'd fit in well. The law of London, and obviously we know the dire problems Barcelona are in right now with the wages and money, full stop, that this might lure him over, and it might also make Barcelona think the same as well, free up the books to maybe bring more experience in if possible. As I say, I don't really know much about him, so if you comment down below, we'll get into that, and I'll try and learn about him myself with you. So let's get into the next story. One of our own, our youth prodigal. Unfortunately, it looks like Tuchel just doesn't want him. Who am I talking about? Tammy Abraham. So Chelsea are preparing to slash the 40 million Tammy Abraham transfer price, as Arsenal and West Ham and even Aston Villa refused to pay out the price we were looking for. So the story goes from The Sun, so take it as you leave it. Chelsea are preparing to slash their asking price for Tammy Abraham. That after struggling to find any club willing to pay 40 million for the England star. Well, I actually think it's a steal for him at his age. Arsenal, West Ham and Aston Villa have all shown interest in snapping up the 23-year-old. 40 million seems a bargain, okay, but whatever. But they have made it clear they do not have the budget to meet the current valuation. So he probably is worth that much, but these clubs just haven't got the budget to do it, probably to do with the pandemic and things like that. And the Blues are so keen to move Abraham on to help finance a bid for their own striker this summer. They are now reluctantly having to consider reducing the demands by at least 5 million. So instead of 40, 35, I still prefer 40, but 5 million off the asking price is not too bad. The impact of the coronavirus pandemic, there you go, has left the club in top flights in Europe having to balance their finances, and this has been evident to Chelsea in their attempt to offload the forward. By buying, clubs have made it clear they are unable to put together a package would not only meet the fee, but they come up with a wage deal to tempt the player to sign. Well, we know West Ham boss David Moyes has a strong interest in trying to piece together a deal. So, yeah, you got 3 clubs in there, as I say: Arsenal, West Ham, Aston Villa. Villa, he's played there on loan. He knows the club. John Terry's just left, so that Chelsea connection is not so much there now. But he's played there. He knows the area. He'd probably feel comfortable. Then you got West Ham and Arsenal. He's a London boy. He knows London inside out. Now, it's a ebb and flow between them two, isn't it? Arsenal look like they could be slowly building a team to bring themselves back up into a top 6 side. West Ham are a side what's very close to top 6. And I hate to say it, if they got a big owner in, they would be pushing for top 4, I personally think. But they've got 2 idiots who run them, what I'm quite happy with, and hope they stay for a long time. So who would he choose between Arsenal and West Ham? I really couldn't tell you that one. I wouldn't be happy 100% of him going, but at the same time, I'd understand Tammy Abraham leaving Chelsea. It's just that if Tuchel doesn't want to play him, and Tuchel, well, we know Chelsea managers are in out, but right now, Tuchel's here. He's not fancy Tammy Abraham, so who'd you have in there? That's a bad thing. And if he's looking to sign a big marquee striker to get them goals to make title defenders, unfortunately, it looks like Tammy's going to be the man who's also going to have to be sacrificed. Don't forget, Giroud's already gone as well. So Chelsea, really as strikers, have only got what we would call Werner left and the young Broja from the youth team. So Chelsea need to be very careful what they're doing here. But you know, I had trust in the club. And as I say, Tammy, I really wanted it to work for him. But if the gaffer's not going to play him, it's not going to work for him. The kid deserves football. He's good enough to play in the Premier League. And I, as a Chelsea fan, don't want him to come back to haunt Chelsea, but it would be great to see him doing great in his career. And if we have to waste money 4 years down the line and pay 150 million for him, that's our own fault. But that's the way Chelsea work. So let's get into the main story. Chelsea are very close to signing Seville France defender Kunday. Oh, I'm looking forward to this one. He's a baller. He's good at tackling, and he didn't want to go to Tottenham. So this story is actually from The Guardian. So yes, as per normal, down in the show notes if you want to read it yourself. Chelsea have opened talks with Seville over the signing of Jules Kunday, having made the French centre-back their top defensive target this summer. Kunday is considered one of the best central defenders in La Liga and was part of the France squad in the European Championship this summer. The 22-year-old has a release clause for 18 million euros, so that's about 6.8 million, 6.8, it's about 68 million pounds. This opens a move to England and is keen to play in the Champions League next season. The two clubs have commenced negotiations, although Chelsea are not prepared to pay the release clause. Now, Thomas Tuchel wants to improve his options at the back, and the manager who led his side to Champions League glory last season believes that Kunday is the right fit. Manchester United have also shown interest in the defender, but Chelsea have made the first move. Seville are in a financial difficulties, potentially handing Chelsea an advantage during these negotiations. Well, the European champions want to back Tuchel in the transfer market and have already raised funds by allowing 2 centre-backs to leave this summer, having sold Tomori to AC Milan for 30 million, and is it Mark Guer to Crystal Palace for around 20 million? By the way, what a bit of business that is, 20 million. However, Chelsea are close to signing the former, well, Chelsea have already signed that guy. So anyway, Chelsea have got Rudiger and Christian. Both have only 1 year left on their deals, and it's understood that Tuchel would allow the former to leave the right offer, talking about Zouma. So what he's basically saying here, people, is we want to bring in a world-class centre-back who's very young. We don't want to pay the full money, but we're winning. The rumour going around is to part exchange with money and Zouma. Now, Zouma is the problem we've got here is he's quite comfortable in England, and he may fancy a move to like a West Ham and Arsenal, somewhere like that. So that could be a stumbling block. Now, if we get rid of Zouma to a London club, we're going to have to pay the full price. And personally, this lad is worth all the money in the world. So if I was Chelsea, I'd bring him in. Yet again, it's a young squad. And what I think's been missing with the Chelsea squad is when people like Silva ain't there, there's not someone who can spray the passes in and out of the box. And I think this man can do it for us. So I think he will be a fantastic signing. He's also good at tackling, but his passing's fantastic from the back. And the formation, the way Chelsea play football, we need that passing defender. What will make things a lot better, move transitions faster and that. So I'd love him in. If Zouma has to go, yet again, we let Zouma go before. we brought him back, we're letting him go again. But yeah, again, Tuchel, we have to have all the faith in him. He's earned his right to prove to us what he can do. And if there's a few players he wants to get rid of, it's going to freshen up the squad. I want to be title contenders. As I say, that's pretty all the news I've got for you now. Also, we'll quickly get into one other thing though. Chelsea's new away kit. Now, it's got mixed opinions. Some people just ain't liking it. I personally like it. I've always liked a yellow Chelsea away kit. It's always one I always loved buying, and I will probably get this one as well. Is it the perfect yellow? No, but it's good enough. I like the kit. I like the look of it. Haaland. Of course you're watching. Come on, we've got a kit to make you feel at home at Dortmund. No, but tell me what you think of the kit, guys. I say it should have been on the screen while I was chatting away there. So tell me what you think of the new Chelsea away kit. One thing I'm going to have a moan about is football kits in general. Is the pricing of them. They're absolutely extortionate. It's disgusting. This was before they had pandemic as well. I remember a time, I'm sure there's a rule came out that you couldn't release 3 new kits a year. You could release a home one year and then the away the next year. Anyway, like that. But it seems to go on like every club now releases 3 kits a season. It's absolutely extortionate. I feel sorry for parents. These kits are like, what, 50 to 90 quid. It's overpriced for what they are, especially as you only wear them 1 year basically, and then you got to get into 3 new ones, especially for kids if want them all. Me, I've unfortunately had to start choosing between kits. I just can't afford them. I don't even get them every year anymore, especially if they're absolutely vile. I have got this season's home vile one though, God knows why, but I got it. But if it was me, I think football kits for children should be 30 to 40 quid. Adults at the max, 40 to 55. There shouldn't be more than that for the tops. It's absolutely extortionate. It's disgusting, and I really think something needs to be done about it personally. If it's cloth at the end of the day, it's absolutely extortionately stupid, and we all fall for it. And like me, I've bought the home kit. But that's my rant over for that anyway. Bit of Rant Football there. But I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hopefully see you again in a week. I've recorded this before Chelsea play Arsenal, so I'll have to get back to you on the games, on the friendlies, and how Chelsea get on. As I always say, could you please like this video? It gets out to more people on YouTube. Comment down below what you think of the stuff we've chatted about today. Tell us what you think. And as I say, subscribe to Epic Shows. Rant Football with me is here. When Andrew's ready to gear up, he'll be doing his Man United stuff. We've got Rant Sports, that's adult based, where a lot of us get together. We moan, we groan, we disagree and agree about all sports. A lot of it will still be football chat, but it just won't be primarily Chelsea or Man United, so it makes it a bit more fun. Then we've got the main show on here, what everyone should be doing into, because when international travel happens, we're hoping getting back to Florida for holidays. And me and my co-host Simon love Florida, so check out the Epic Florida project, where we took all new theme parks and the surrounding areas. From me, guys, all stay safe, and I'll see you again on the next Rant Football.